working with the local church to take the hope of Christ to every student in the United States. This is First Priority. Now here are your hosts, Steve Cherrico and Brad Schelling.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. My name is Steve Cherrico, and this is
Brad Schelling.
In the House. Brad, welcome back.
It's good to be here, Steve.
Man, good to see you.
It's been a bit.
A little bit, not too terrible.
Not too terrible.
Tayana keeps us on point.
She does.
Are we going to, we've got a season of podcasts coming up. Are we getting Tayana on the mic at some point?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I got $100 in my wallet that would be offered if she'd do it.
Oh, really?
She just said
She's
yes.
In. She just said yes.
All right, I'll get
We're
it.
in.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. That's good news. Glad to hear it.
We know the price. We just need the content.
Oh,
now.
yeah, exactly. Exactly right. What will we have Tayana to talk about? That's awesome. She may talk about working with us on a regular basis and be sorry.
Right?
Oh, man.
She's going to record it after we leave later today.
Exactly right. I like it. Well, we're so glad you're joining us this week. We got a lot of good content to be discussing and want to jump in. But before we do, we normally start with story time with Steve. But guess what?
What's that?
Story time with Brad.
Oh, dear.
Think hard, think long. What has come through on the feed, on the app in the last 10 days? That is a story to be told, Brad.
I don't know if it's been through the feed, but one of my favorite stories recently has been the Student Leadership University. We've been partnering with YPS.
Yep.
We've been developing a new platform using technology to help, scan the QR code, get into the thing, get some online training, launch a club. There are two right now that are starting outside of first party territories that they've gotten through the FP connect.firstparty.org.
Awesome.
And we've been getting connected with Christina. And well, actually, I've talked to the guy in New Orleans, too, North New Orleans, out in the rural counties. He's been familiar with First Priority.
Yeah.
Thanks,
JD.
And his
Good
club,
job, JD.
His club has run a cycle here this spring before they got done, and they're getting ready to start. He wants to start 4 or 5 clubs up there. He's like, there's just one school in every county. It's very rural Louisiana.
Yep.
And they're going to get going. The other one's in Washington State. We were out in Southern California. Shane and Will were out there, man in the booth, and speaking at the breakout session.
Yep.
And there's a guy up in a student pastor, might be a lady, up in Washington State.
It is a lady. I remember the story.
Got wind of it, and just working on helping the students in her student ministry share Jesus with the friends at school, and just super excited about that possibility and that potential, the technology, what that's able to do for us to train and equip, and yet have the manpower in the office to resource and support and answer questions and walk through issues. So,
well, for those of you
exciting.
who are fairly new to us, we use FP Connect. Is that correct?
Yep.
So FP Connect is a platform that, like Brad said, is a technology platform where we are trying our darndest to actually create stages of follow-up for those who might want to start First Priority but don't have what we would consider a chapter, which is an organized group working First Priority in an area.
That is correct.
Not that everybody that listens to this is a chapter leader, but a lot of them are. That's part of our audience. Not that everybody who listens to this is a student leader, but a lot of them are. And so providing another layer of, hey, how can we get the movement that is First Priority out there? And FP Connect is one of the newest ways.
And since you mentioned chapter directors and you're asking for a story, but now I'm going into a little bit of training. For you at Middle Tennessee, if somebody scans the QR code at the Youth Pastor Summit this November, which is our next planned one at the moment, we're kind of just slow rolling this out. But if they scan that QR code and they say, hey, I'm in Davidson County, Tennessee, you're getting the email.
Correct.
Because you're the Middle Tennessee guy. So wherever you are in the country, if you're in a chapter, you're going to get that. If you're not in a chapter, Christina's going to get that. And we're going to keep moving forward.
I got one of those from a very rural part of Tennessee that is only a 1 or 2 school per county area. And so we have followed up. They were actually familiar through the South Florida network years ago.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Super cool.
The small first party world. We love it.
Well, we're jumping into new content.
We are.
It's not new to our listeners, those who've been around.
Yep.
Certainly not new to you and I.
Yep.
But it is a new series thanks to our executive producer, Tayana Bradley. So you want to talk a little bit about where we're headed?
Yeah, we're going to go through our core values. Our personnel values is what we call them. It's the people in our system. When we started Traction a few years ago, they wanted us to do our core values, but it had to do with our people.
There you go.
And so we sat around the room The traction stuff forced us into this, and I'm thankful for it because we sat around the room and asked us what embodies our successful people in first priority.
Good.
And we came up a short list.
Yep.
They said they wanted 3 to 5. They did not a long list, not an exhaustive list.
Yep.
Just what are those top things that embody a successful person, who you want to be in your culture.
And let's pause before you jump in, because the great right and left hand is there are organizational leadership values, which we call core values. But this specific thing you're talking about is about the human beings that actually make the ministry work.
Correct. Yeah. The ministry values, we are gospel focused. We are student led. We are strategy based. We engage the local church, right? Those 4 things are how we go about ministry. Those are our ministry core values. These have to do with our people.
Good.
And I like that we have that distinction. Like those 2 things are important to say, hey, we're going to stay focused in what we do, but we're also going to stay focused in who we are.
Well, you're doing the human beings, human doings thing that I say all the time, right? Right. If it's just about our organizational values, that we're human doings, and we're not, we're human beings. And so we got to know, what does it look like to bring somebody in and say, these are the things. Do these things matter to you?
Correct.
This is what makes you part of what we do.
Yep.
Great. So where you want to start? Which one?
Well, do you give $100 to anybody who guesses what our first core value is for people at the nonprofit Christian ministry?
No, I don't, because that's easy money. That's easy money.
Easy money.
It's Christ follower.
Christ follower.
And what's funny is we used to put it at the bottom of the list and we got our hands slapped because we thought all of those made up Christ follower, but here we are. But yeah, it's Christ follower. Jump into it.
We didn't get our hands slapped. So I just got sick of the whining.
We got our hands slapped. You can call whatever you want. Keep going.
No, it is, but I also agree that it is the core value. It is the cream of the crop, because if we are not following Christ in what we are doing, every day, every year, Traction pushed us to do these human being values, right? But if we're not following Jesus on an annual basis, how are we going to how are we going to know where he wants us to go this year? Where does he want us to start a club? Right? But on a daily basis too, just listening to his word, interacting with each other, because he speaks through each other on that. If we're not listening to the Spirit of Christ where we are, we're going to miss the opportunity for me to invest in you and you to invest in me. And the same with our coaches and our students. If we don't care for each other, then we're going to be an unhealthy organization.
One of the best things that ever happened to this organization is when we brought EOS and Traction in. It's one of the best things that ever happened, because it got our thoughts, which were wide in value, very narrow, very clean, right? But in the midst of that, one of the things that we had to do as a ministry is say, pause. If we're going to do this, then we have to invite Christ into every part of it. So we have problems we need to solve. That's great. But have we invited the Lord in, or are we just going to use natural intelligence? Well, we've been given a brain. We should use that. But let's invite the Lord in to provide wisdom, right? There's numerous times in this that we've said, okay, if we're going to be Christ followers as individuals, then let's invite the Lord into the whole conversation.
Yeah.
And it's been good.
It's been very good
to watch. It reminds me of Grishell's latest podcast where he says, I no longer plan 3, 5, 10 years out. I now prepare people for 3, 5, 10 years out. We want people to be well prepared as followers of Jesus in their lives, so that when they do meet whatever is 3, 5, 10 years out, they can walk that out because Christ is first and most highest.
Well, and it comes down to you listen to the stories of what we encounter on a regular basis, right? This morning was a good one. We invited a student leader from the high school down to the middle school. It was the last.
Mr. Eli.
Eli came over.
It's my area. I'll prop that one up. Let's go.
He spoke. I mean, he was eloquent and amazing and confident. And I am super excited for George to be a graduating senior, having had 7 years of leadership training through First Priority. Because they're not there yet. They're 7th graders.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
him and even as good as Cash is, I mean, I put him up on a pedestal all the time. I mean, that's crazy. But I had plans, I had thoughts, I had desires for bringing him in to say, hey, let's encourage, let's equip. But what I saw happening is the Lord just catch the attention of these 7th grade boys and use him in a different way than I had planned. Right. And that's a positive example,
100%.
right? That doesn't take any stress. That's not any anxiety. But when we get the negative situations, which we all encounter on a daily basis, if we're not following Christ, the fruit of the Spirit, is joy and peace and patience and kindness, and walking through that to say, hey, how am I following Christ? Am I bearing fruit that lasts in that, right? And being able to navigate school administrations and church leaders and students and each other, right?
It's good.
Things of that nature. So
it's good. I like it.
Cool.
So Christ follower leads us to our second personnel. Go ahead.
Passionate and inspiring.
Okay, dig in.
Well, it's different for everybody.
Okay.
Because I'm inspired by the giftings of everybody who is here, right? I can't do what Tayana does.
Yeah.
Neither can you. I can't do what Michael does, but Correct. I also can't do what you do.
Correct.
Right? Here's the other. I'm inspired by Ashley Jones in Houston, because she often in our internal Google chat posts these stories and pictures internally of crowds of 100+ kids in these things. She's a mobilizer.
Yeah.
Right? And that inspires me, and her passion for those clubs and how she networks the churches and what she is doing. It's inspiring to me. I can't do that.
What's inspiring to me is it's a testament of 1 Corinthians 12 and Romans 12, which is the body of Christ, right? There's this interesting body of believers that have said, this is our calling, right? And so we get to see people passionately walk out what piece of the body they are and be okay that I am a mouth and I am a big toe. And that's the two things that I do, right? I move places and I talk about things. But I certainly couldn't be an elbow. I certainly couldn't be an ear. I certainly couldn't be eyes. Like, being okay and being able to celebrate that about our teammates is what makes that such a great part of what we value.
Well, and I think there too, the recognizing the gifts of our team. We don't want everybody to be cookie cutter, right? We have cookie cutter job descriptions. Director. You all need to kind of do the same thing, right? Area coordinators, you all kind of need to do the same thing. But who you are in that, we want to see the beauty of that lived out. Right? A lot of places don't have that. They want you just to be the cookie cutter.
Correct.
But we want to see the beauty of that lived out, because that is what makes it beautiful.
When you just set us up, because core value number 3 is collaborative team builder, right? The idea that there are no solo riders in this thing. You can be all by yourself in a brand new territory north of New Orleans, and you are farthest from by yourself.
Yeah.
Because even though you are in the territory by yourself, there is this incredible system of background folks that you've created. There are other leaders that are within arm shot, and technology is our friend at this point in this particular area.
Sure.
You and I can be on the phone at any moment, any day, saying, this is a problem with a educational leader. How do I deal with this? And it's just, man, let me tell you about some of the things I've walked through tenure. This is how I walked through it. Just the idea of collaborating with one another and being that support system is used. I have this picture of us all sitting around the table, enjoying a meal together, and just watching as one another works through that together. Right? It's just a beautiful picture.
And admittedly, that causes tension.
Of course.
Because the human instinct is for us to all do things my way, not the same way. Because it doesn't matter if it's a different way, not my way. There's a tension there. But to me, that's the beautiful thing, right? Because the teams around the country, First Priority is a team of teams, right? You're building your Middle Tennessee team.
100%.
Ryan is building his teams down in
south part of the state,
the southern part of the Middle Tennessee state. And it's just a team of teams. And the beauty of it is that we all do it in our gifting and in our talent and how God's created us. And that even goes back. That's the passion and inspiring.
Well,
right?
and let's go back one more. There's only one real hero in First Priority. It's Christ, right? It's right. I mean,
We're building on it, aren't we?
Right. You can go there, and we always talk about, the two heroes in First Priority are students and Jesus. In this particular scenario in the discussion we're having, it all leads back to, hey, Jesus, the way, the truth, the life. Jesus, right? It's the right Sunday school answer, but in this particular scenario, it's actually the right answer.
Yeah, because when we're following Jesus, the first question under passion and inspiring is, what excites you the most about your work right now?
Yeah.
Well, Ryan's going to answer that differently than Jacob is. And those are two gut boys in the same team, right?
In the same seat on my team.
Correct.
Right.
But that's exciting. That's what excites them. That inspires us. And they're out there building teams.
I told them the same thing at staff this week.
Really?
We just had staff meeting yesterday, and I quoted verbatim what you said. You guys could not be more different, living in the same seats and accomplishing the same thing. Just completely different ways of accomplishing it.
Yep.
But both seeing growth, both seeing all the things we want to see when we actually add measurements. It's fun.
It is fun.
Which leads us to?
Eager to learn.
So let's dig into that a little bit.
I mean, we can't stay where we are. We have to keep moving forward. And in order to keep moving forward, we have to keep learning.
So I'm going to throw a dart out there. I don't know when this one's coming out. It's going to timestamp it just a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm going to be interested to watch our 50 plus leaders at the upcoming gathering we're having to see how many of them plug immediately into the hope content and how many of them are still holding on to what used to be our content.
Yep.
And it's not that they're not eager to learn, it's just they didn't come in ready to say, okay, that was, and this is where we're going, and I am eager to go where we're going, no matter how good that was. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It'll be interesting just to watch everyone process and walk that out. I'm not saying I'm going to do any better than anybody else, because I was a fan of what we were doing.
Yep.
But I am super eager to be not only educated, but prepared to walk that out and to walk my team through it.
But I think that, I mean, that still goes back down the funnel, right?
It does.
Because each one of I think everybody's open to it. I've been hearing nothing but positive. Hey, we were skeptical. We're excited because of this, right? Good. And they're taking that piece, again, the gifting that God's given them, or the angle to say, hey, I'm gonna use it. Here's what I see God doing, and they're pulling different pieces of that out, and it's just, again, I think it's going to be a beautiful part. But they're willing to be eager to learn and to say, how can we do this? Because one of the things that I've been talking about in this eager to learn is this year's hope that First Party of America, that's the one we're resourcing. Like, we've got the library out there, but this is what we're putting out this year. We're resourcing it. This is what we're promoting. It's coming from the Permian Basin, right? And so I am eager to learn, how can we get 300 member clubs in all the chapters, right? They're the ones who have done it the most high capacity, most consistently. A little bit of it's unfair because Midland, Odessa, Texas has huge schools, right? So to get 300, they're getting 10%. Like, there's 3,000 plus member schools.
I'm with you.
Have to monitor that as far as your expectations goes. But I'm eager to learn and to see, what does this do to Kansas City? What does this do in Alabama? What does this do to Middle Tennessee, right? Or up in Michigan? How can we get 300 kids showing up to First Priority clubs in other places? So, yeah.
It's good. There's so much context to that I could keep throwing in, but let's keep going. Last one.
Last one is confidently driven.
Okay. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about the teeter-totter of confidently driven that is arrogant, right? Let's just be genuine, right? Which teeter-totters on arrogance versus just really being driven towards where you're going, right? And how we walk that out carefully, because we, one of the things, again, that Mark Robbins has led us through and the team has led us through is that we only do one thing on the campus for the sake of the kingdom. And that sometimes we get pushback on that. Like, well, why don't we do concerts? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do one thing? We equip students to be the gospel on campus and then plug kids who find Christ back into a local church. Like, that's our one thing, right? And that can be seen as arrogance because we're very confident in that.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, going back to what you said earlier, Traction has revolutionized what we do because it brought everything into clarity to say, here are the 5 things we're looking for in our people. When we're interviewing people and we're looking, are they confident, right? But at the same time, do they humbly follow Christ?
Yeah, there you go.
And those two, there's tension there, but I think we have more confidence because the path is so clearly defined now, where 7 years ago it was not. Right. You go pre-COVID and there was a lot of layers, and are we marketing to business people or students or youth pastors, or where are we going? Here's where we're going. Yeah. It's all laid out there. So I think on a level that helps us as a ministry is confidence, right? Because staff just need to raise money, network the church, and launch clubs. we give them those three kind of focus and
Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet there's that great, just being honest about where you are as a director, as
mm-hmm.
a leader, and just going back to where you started, right?
Yep.
Follow me as I follow Christ. Well, that's because I follow Christ, right?
Yep.
And we just have to constantly start back at the beginning.
Yep. Well, it's your motivate. I mean, the questions underneath here, and we'll talk about this more because we're going to do a show on a podcast on
for each one.
Each one. So we'll dig into more, but yeah, what keeps you motivated when things get difficult? How do you balance confidence with humility in your work?
Yep.
Right? All those things. Yeah, we can be confident, but I don't know about you. The older I get, the less I'm sure of.
Correct.
Like, I've got great plans for Eli this morning, but God had better ones.
Yeah.
So let's go. Take it with a grain of salt and
keep right on going.
Keep right on it going. So should be a good couple of sessions here, 5 sessions leading into, all 5 of these core values.
I like it.
Cool.
Well, good discussion, Brad. Thanks for your time.
You as well. Anything else?
I don't think so. Friends, thanks very much for spending time with us on the podcast. If you are a regular listener and you have not given us a 5-star review yet, liked and shared, we need you to do that, please. It only helps us spread the word. And I would ask you, when you share, don't share just blanket. Find a couple leaders inside what you are leading and say, hey, this actually might be helpful to what you're doing. It would be really appreciative of that.
That's right. I'm excited about the next episode because next episode we have our first core value, Christ follower, and we've invited Larry Bragg into the conversation
Larry Bragg
from the Metro East in Illinois.
Yep, like it. Can't
I
wait
do
for
too.
that one.
We're going to have a great conversation with him. So until next time, thanks for listening.